So throughout the past seasons, every time the Butterfly and Peacock Miraculous are portrayed as evil or at least are being used to do evil. But my question arises when I actually look back at Ladybug's powers. Were these Miraculouses always used for evil? So the reason why I compared with Ladybug's power, because if you take a look at her power, she mainly has two powers, not just one. One is a lucky charm, and that's the power of creation. That means when she uses this, any damage that has been caused by anything can be repaired, whether it be for cataclysm or like we saw in episode Feast, what had Master Fu done? So that's completely fine. But our next power is where I get really questioned. Capturing or purifying Akumas and Amoks. Now this is very confusing. Now, as we watched throughout the show, we have just seen or looked over this thing as it made a perfect sense for the plot itself. But now when we really think about it, did the Miraculouses always have this power? Did Ladybug always have this power to purify Akumas? Why? This goes to show that after the temple burned down or even before, the Butterfly and Peacock Miraculous were most likely used for evil, or else there would be no high demand of a purification power for Ladybug. Before you could say that they could have been good, think about this. If the Peacock and Butterfly Miraculouses were used for good, there would be no need for Ladybug's purification power. When we look back on Heroes Day, or even on the last episode, the finale of Season 3, Hawkmoth had akumatized Lila into Volpina yet again. He then removed his Akuma from Lila, saying that he didn't need her at the moment, and his Akuma that he took out of her then returned back to him. Later on in Heroes Day, Mayura created a Sunny monster to protect Hawkmoth. When the heroes were about to attack it, then she blew the feather out of Hawkmoth's cane. So, if these guys can take away their own Amoks and their own Akumas, then why is there need of a purification power? Because we know that the owner of the Miraculous can easily take away the Amok, take away the Akuma, take away the power. Why would we need a purification power? If the people use the Butterfly and Peacock Miraculous for good, then why would Ladybug even need the purification power? Seeing as the Miraculous all have the potential to call back the Akuma or the feather and then de-evilize it, with information that the show has related to us, we can only assume that the two Miraculouses were used for evil since the Guardian Society collapsed. Now that being said, this information leads some questions back to my mind. How did Ladybug get the purification power? Why was Ladybug the only one to receive it and not the other Miraculouses? 2. What made the people before the current Peacock and Butterfly Miraculouses use their Miraculouses for evil, or did they even use it for evil? 3. What would the consequences of obtaining their wish with Cat and Ladybug Miraculouses be? Are they aware of the risks, and what would they have to take? Would they be able to willing to go through after knowing what mass must be sacrificed? With all that being said, I think there have been some doubts before the past Peacock and Butterfly Miraculouses because these Miraculouses are actually more unique compared to the others. Look at the Moth Miraculous, for example. You can literally make anyone your slaves with it. Look at the Butterfly Miraculous. You can control people's emotions with this. These are just special Miraculouses that have potential purpose of being used for evil compared to using it for good compared to the other Miraculous because they have protective and useful powers. These powers, the Butterfly and Peacock Miraculouses, have slavery-like powers, which I think were portrayed as evil at some point, and Ladybug needed the purification power some way to purify the Akuma. Now, we haven't seen Ladybug purify something else yet, except Akumas and Amoks, but if we see something else being purified in the future, that means this might be meant for something else, but Ladybug is purifying Akumas and Amoks with it. But for now, we can consider that there's something going on with the Peacock and the Butterfly Miraculous in the past. Okay, let us know what you guys think in our public Discord or in the comments. We'd love to know.